Alrighty, hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I just kind of wanted to come on here and say hello, see how everybody is doing, and kind of give you guys a little bit of a few updates that's going on. Obviously, everybody around the world is dealing with this coronavirus, the COVID-19, and slowly but surely everybody is starting to slow down and everybody's starting to self-isolate or isolate. Businesses are closing or they are limiting their hours. Grocery stores are I don't know if grocery stores are getting restocked or not as quickly as consumers would like, but we have been reassured here in our community that store shelves are stocked, trucks are coming in, and toilet paper is aplenty. But I just kind of wanted to come on here and take my time to thank all of my viewers and subscribers who do work in the medical field, and the truck drivers and the people who actually have to stay out and cannot stay home and isolate themselves from this deadly virus. So thank you guys so much for all of the hard work that you guys are doing, and that you guys are in the front lines of all of this. You guys are the ones who are seeing it firsthand, and I personally want to thank you for all of that. I used to work in the medical field. I was a phlebotomist for 12 years. I worked at an OB office. I worked at a regular physician's office. So I know what it can be like to work in a medical field. However, I've never had to work the 12 years that I was in the medical field. I never had to experience something like this, something so unprecedented, something so crazy of this magnitude. But so yeah, I know that it's scary, but we thank you. I thank you from the bottom of our hearts, my heart, that you guys are out there and you're doing it, you're hustling. And it's dangerous because, you know, we hear a lot of things like there's not enough masks, there's not enough PPE available. And that is scary in itself because you guys are putting yourself on the line to help these other patients, and yet your lives are on the line of catching this virus because the fact that, you know, you guys have not enough PPE available to protect everybody. But hoping that the governments are gonna all work together and everybody's gonna get everything that they need. So basically what I'm doing in this period of time is I've definitely decided to self-isolate myself in my house. I'm only leaving for, I have an Amazon delivery. Hold please. I answer the door and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's people, hello people. And it was one Amazon guy and then our yard guy who comes and sprays our yard. They both came to my door at the same time, one leaving his bill and one leaving me my Amazon box, which is a birthday gift for my niece Parker. But anyway, so what was I saying? Oh, my isolation period. So I decided to self-isolate, keep myself in my house as much as possible, and only going out for like essential needs. And quite honestly, even that, I've been ordering online if I need anything as far as, you know, like household stuff goes, toilet paper, which we're fine with toilet paper, but food wise and bread and all that good stuff, I've really just kind of been utilizing the online ordering from Walmart or Kroger or Publix, and that has worked out so nicely because quite honestly I don't want to go out in this mess. If I can avoid it as much as possible, I am. So so I'm isolating myself in my house and having social distancing as much as possible. Brian, Brian, on the other hand, this week he has had trainings in his office this week, so he's been obviously teaching class, and I'm like, no, because where are those people coming from? And they could have it, and then you could get sick, and then you're gonna bring it home to me, and here I am trying to isolate myself and keep myself protected from this, and yet you're out and about doing stuff. It's like, no. So I think we're finally getting on the same page here. He canceled all classes for next week, so he won't be teaching next week, which is a plus. And I know there's only 3 of them in their office, which is him, his partner, and their secretary. So I get all that, but it's who the secretary comes in contact with, and it's who his coworker comes in contact with, and then that brings back to the office, and then that brings it back to Brian, and then that brings it back to me. So it's just like, if everybody could just stay isolated in their houses for about 15 days, this might stop. So basically my hashtag is, and I said this the other day in my video, hashtag flatten the curve, because that's exactly what we need to do, is we need to flatten that curve. And I think that is just so important. And I know all you healthcare workers out there would 100% agree. So that's basically what I'm doing as far as keeping myself, isolated in a way, and trying to keep myself as healthy as possible. During my isolation period here, I am going to be really buckling down and cleaning, and probably starting to box a few things up as far as the move is concerned. I did go to Lowe's the other day while I was out, because I did need to go out to pick up a prescription, and I'm like, while I'm out, I'm just gonna run into Lowe's really quick and grab the boxes that I need, and the bubble wrap and the tape, and I'm gonna come back home, and then that way I can at least have some of that available to me so I can start packing. I plan on purging my upstairs. I think that's where I'm gonna start first, because really that area really needs to be a nice place that people can look at and see, because that way they can see how nice it is up there, minus all of my decor and junk, because that's kind of what's up there. When I start doing all of that, I will show you guys what that looks like, and you guys will be like, holy hell, she does have a lot of stuff up there. I do, and I'm trying to, like I said, purge and get rid of a lot of the stuff. I'm gonna definitely, somebody had asked me this question, and I'm gonna save it for my Q&A that I plan on filming and sharing next week. I think one of the questions was, do you plan on still using the like farmhouse theme as decorating? And yes, absolutely. But I'm also gonna kind of steer away, not steer away from a lot of it, but steer away from some of that, and just kind of get to more of a classy, well, not that farmhouse isn't classy, because I don't want to like say that. I just more of a, I don't know. Yes, I'm gonna stick with farmhouse. Because I've seen like houses, and I'm just like, okay, I just kind of want to minimize. I think that's a better way to say it. I just kind of want to minimize some of my stuff and not have so much everywhere. So I think that's going to be part of like this process of purging and minimizing a lot of things. And when I get to my new house, I want it to be, fresher and not so packed and not so many things everywhere. I'm still, seriously, all of the decorations that I have in my room, I plan on using these same decorations in my next master bedroom. I love the way this looks. I just love it. It's just so cozy. It's so comfortable, and I do like it. It's definitely very farmhousey look. Living room, I'm gonna change a lot of stuff in there. We're gonna be getting rid of selling the couch and possibly the chairs in there. We really haven't decided yet what we're going to be doing. We have discussed renting a place, like selling this house and then renting a place in Huntsville, and giving us some time to look for a house while we're there and not be so rushed. But we're not sure if that's going to work out either. These are just kind of scenarios. We do have a list of houses that we want to look at. Unfortunately, right now, due to the circumstances, we are not going to drive over to Huntsville like we normally would and start looking. And basically what we're going to be doing as well is I think we're going to wait and put our house on the market around the 1st of April, around that time. but we're going to actually see how everything is going between now and in the next 2 weeks. And then once it comes to April 1st, we're going to reassess everything and see where everything is standing regarding this virus, and then make the decision at that point if we're going to hold off again for another 2 weeks and on putting the house on the market. Because right now with the virus and stuff going around, I don't want to put my house on the market and then have someone come into my house who is sick or who has carrying it and they don't know and they happen to sneeze or touch something or whatever the case may be. I don't want to open my house up and expose my house and myself and of course Brian to all of that, even though he hasn't isolated himself yet, but we're working on that. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at with that right now. I think we've looked at, I have a whole list. I'm going to say probably 25, okay, maybe 15 to 25 houses I have written down on a list of places that we want to go look. We look at them online. My realtor in Huntsville is sending me some every single day. The realtor here knows what we're planning on doing, and I told her probably around April 1st is when we'd like to start listing the house. Once that comes around, we'll assess the situation around here, like I said, and we will determine whether we're going to wait a little bit longer or if we're going to go ahead and put the house on the market. But the longer we have to wait for this virus to clear up and things to kind of get back to normal, the longer we will be here and not be in Huntsville. But I'm excited about going. The more that I've thought about it, the more that we've talked about it, the more houses that I look at, I get very, very excited about the future and about where we're going to be. Yes, I just can't wait. I'm going to be so much closer to my family within an hour of my entire family, which is really, really nice to be close to my mom and my dad, my brother, my nephew, Lucas, my nieces now, Hannah, even though she lives in Clarksville, but she's in Winchester often. My niece Courtney, who moved back from California, is talking about moving to Huntsville as well, so she will be closer to me. And then of course my great niece Parker. So my sister, I will have my family definitely closer, and then I will be excited because then I can host more parties and stuff at my house and have everybody over, where my family didn't really come here a lot the last 8.5 years that we've lived here. I think my parents have been here maybe 5 times the 8.5 years that we've lived here, and that's just because they don't really like to drive over here to Atlanta, and quite honestly, I don't blame them. And anybody who's been through Atlanta knows you don't want to drive through Atlanta because it's crazy, and you have to get to here. It's just crazy. I went outside a few minutes ago to get the mail, and the pollen is just like off the chain out there. And I want to have my windows and stuff open, but I can't, because if I do, everything in this room will be yellow and the floors will be yellow as well. So I cannot have the windows open, but I do have the air on. But I went outside to grab the mail really quick, and I came back in. I had snot, and then my throat is a little scratchy because of the pollen. It's crazy. But anyway, so I just kind of wanted to come on here and update you guys on a few things. I did put out a Q&A the other day asking everybody to send me some questions, because I want to sit down and answer those questions for you. And I don't care what those questions are. You guys can ask me whatever you want to. And then, of course, depending on the questions, I will determine if I'm going to answer them or not. No, everybody always usually asks pretty good, decent questions. So please ask all the questions, leave them in the comments below, go over to my Instagram account, leave them there if you want to. I'm just trying to gather a bunch of questions that I can answer for you guys. Again, it's during this time where we need to even stay connected via YouTube, and thank goodness technology is available to us, where we can, for those who have to homeschool their kids, are able to do that. I know that that's a very hard thing and a hard challenge to do right now, and my heart goes out to all of the teachers and the students, especially the seniors are gonna miss commencements. Graduates from colleges are gonna miss their commencements, and they've worked so hard, and everything is on a hold right now. And that's kind of where we are. So we're on hold. Whoop, I just hit the thingy. We are on hold for now, regarding the move, like I said, I explained it just a second ago regarding like this 2-week period that we're going to be like waiting. But in the meantime, we're still going to be looking, we're still going to be planning, and I'm going to start purging and boxing a few things up. I actually thought about taking down what little bit of Easter stuff I do have, and just kind of putting out regular decoration, because I know they're going to come. Excuse me, I know they're gonna come in here and they're gonna take pictures of the house, and I wanna make sure that in the pictures there's not like a lot of Easter I have the hiccups now. A lot of Easter decorations, that way the pictures look nice. And and there's like no Easter bunnies in the picture. So hopefully we pretty much know our house is gonna sell rather quickly. However, given the circumstances and everything happening right now with the markets, everything might be a little bit on the iffy side, but I'm hopeful that once all of this clears out, that the markets will bounce back. I know it might take some time, but I'm hoping that they do, for everybody's sake, for business owners, small business owners, big businesses, shipping, cruise ships, and Disney. But you know, these people, I think everything is going to be okay. You just got to think positively about that. This is, I just kind of keep saying this too shall pass, and it will. It's just a rough time for everybody right now. And I think that social media, with people being able to continue on sharing their everyday life like we do with you guys, helps. I think it kind of helps ease the stress. I know that if I sit around the house all day long and focus on what is going on and watch, you know, the news channels all the time, or constantly watch the news, I tend to get really, really tense about things. And I don't have anxiety that would cause me to be anxious about something like that. I do have a separation anxiety sometimes when it comes to, like, you know, Brian and I having to be separated for some period of time or whatever, but that's a whole other different type of separation anxiety. But as far as like separating myself from people, I'm okay with that for a while if I know that I can help keep somebody safe. So I think that's where I think that it's important to do all that. So in a time like this, we all rely on social media, and I want to make sure that I do my part on social media on keeping everybody happy and cheerful. And this is where you guys can go to kind of escape all of that. So yeah, I need to clean my windows too. I was just kind of looking at that. I need to clean my windows. So maybe that's probably something I'll put on my list of things to accomplish while I'm in this like isolation period, as there's a bird poop on my window and the bird poop's gotta go. So yeah, I probably should clean my windows. So we're gonna add that to the list of things to do too. But at least it'll get me outside. But with the pollen and stuff, I might have to wear a mask because of the pollen. Not because of the COVID, but because of the pollen. I had one of those N95 masks, and I think I still do, from when I was in the medical field, because we all had to have one for something that was going around. We all had to have one, so they made sure that all of their employees had one of those things. I keep hitting the camera, sorry. So I have one somewhere, I just don't remember what I did with it or where it's at. As a matter of fact, Brian might have it outside, but anyway. So that's my plan. That's what's happening around my neck of the woods. I just want everybody to know that this too shall pass. And it's a scary, scary time. It really, really is. Everybody has had to cancel all of their plans. Everybody's had to possibly even rebook and reschedule, which is which is crazy. And I hope that everybody has been able to do that. It's definitely been it's an inconvenience for everybody who's involved, but we're all in this together. So yeah, and so let's all be in this together and just be friendly with each other, be kind, be patient. Let's flatten that curve and let's do our part to help not continue to spread this virus. My mother-in-law this morning, so funny, I talk to her every day, as I talk to my mom every day, just to check on them, make sure that they're okay. She told me today, hilarious. She goes, I kind of look at this disease like an STD. It's like, and I get what she was saying. So it's like if, you know, so-and-so slept with so-and-so and so-and-so slept with so-and-so, and if then you've slept with that person as well, and that person has slept with that person as well. And I'm like, pretty good analogy. So yeah, it kind of seems to be that way. So yeah, it's like an STD. You wouldn't want to share it. You wouldn't want to get it. So let's just keep ourselves isolated. Yes, let's do that. What a funny analogy. But anyway, all right, you guys, I'm going to go. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. And yeah, just stay happy, stay cheerful, stay full of joy. This is gonna pass and everything's gonna get back to normal. And yeah, I hope the world will be a better place after this and because of this. So thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye.